the vast majority of people, good cybersecurity is about following best practices. I'm going to give you 10 tips for having a better cybersecurity posture, and if you follow these, you're going to be a lot better off than most people you know. So number one, strong passwords. You hear that all the time, but it's really true. You need to have passwords that are 16 to 18 characters, that use all kinds of cases, all kinds of gobbledygook. They need to be new, so if they're older than a year old, they've been breached somewhere. And you definitely do not want to write them down, which leads me to tip number two, which is get a password manager. A password manager means you can have the craziest, longest, gobbledygookiest password, and you can dump it in there, and it doesn't need to be written down, and it's a great tool to use. Number three, multi-factor authentication. It's a fancy word, but basically it means click that button when it asks you if you want the bank or whoever. The bank is going to do it automatically, but anywhere that asks you to do it, just say yes. They'll send you that little code. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's kind of one of the best things we have right now in terms of staying secure. So click that button. Number four, update your OS when it asks you to. A lot of times those updates have security updates built into them. So when you see that little thing blinking at you and you want to click ignore, just update it and you'll be a lot more secure. Number five, back up your files. Back up your files. You can put them on the box, you can put them on Dropbox, Google Drive. There's all kinds of free services. You can put it on even an external drive. But if you don't back up your files, if some kind of malware comes along with ransomware and your files are taken hostage, then you're kind of screwed. So back up your files. Number six, when you do back up your files, or anywhere if you're using a flash drive, a CD-ROM, anything external, don't just leave it laying around. Make sure you're properly checking those things to make sure they don't have your files on them and they're just sitting around for anyone to look at. At the least, with a flash drive, you want to delete those files off there. You may want to just literally destroy them. For a CD-ROM, you're going to want to incinerate it. You want to burn it, blow it up, get rid of it. But you don't want external media laying around, especially unless it's got your photos and things. If it's got your files and stuff, you definitely need to make sure those aren't just laying around. Number seven, use an antivirus program. There are many, many, many free ones for PC and Mac. There's no reason not to use them. They update every day, sometimes hourly, with the latest viruses that are out there. You should definitely install one. They're free. You can pay for them if you want, but there's free ones, lots of them. Phishing. Phishing is on the rise. It's not getting any better. It's not getting any less. There are more and more phishing campaigns. If you see an email, it's from Apple or Google or whoever, and they want you to update a password, don't click the link. Especially look at who it's from. Oftentimes it's from a domain that looks like Apple or looks like Google, and it's not. Look for typos. In any case, call the company, email the company directly if they want that information. If you think it might be valid, make sure to check that way first. Number 9, public Wi-Fi. Don't use it if you can't. I mean, we all get in situations where we need to use public Wi-Fi. It's an emergency, whatever. But in general, don't use it. That's not encrypted. Those Wi-Fis aren't encrypted. You never know who's sitting around sniffing your packets. Your data packets are flying around. They're capturing them. You don't know if you're actually on Starbucks Wi-Fi when you're in Starbucks. It could be someone sitting there with a Wi-Fi connection. They're sucking it in. Try not to use the public Wi-Fi. And number 10, I would suggest you use an identity monitoring service. They're not free, but they can do a lot of the hard work for you. If you don't want to use an identity monitoring service, think about maybe freezing your credit reports, which you can do with 3 credit reporting agencies. That's free. You can Google it. It's easy to do. And at the least do that. Think about signing up for identity monitoring. They can do a lot of things that we can't do, and we just don't have the time or energy to do. So I would suggest that. Those are your top 10 tips. Follow those. You're going to be a lot safer than most people. And have a great day.